Thank you all for joining us virtually to celebrate the life of Dr. Ondrej Hes, or Ondra, as we knew him. And we have many people join us from all over the world. Dr. Farshid Siadat is controlling the meeting, so he can admit everybody as they join in. In the interest of time, we will start now. Please mute your mics. We can control the mics from here. We can all be muted, but in order to keep this orderly, please keep your mics muted. I will now share my screen. Welcome to the virtual celebration of life of Dr. Ondrej Hes, or Ondra. Thank you for joining us from all over the world. My name is Kirill Trepkov. Ondrej Hes was a very close friend and colleague. We were joined by our fascination for kidney tumors. Today, we will share our memories, our photos and video of Ondra to remind ourselves again of the great human being he was and how much we all miss him. On July 21st, he would have been 54. He would have celebrated his birthday. Although he left us young, he lived his life to the fullest. He squeezed, in fact, several lives and personalities into his brief 54 years. And we are also honored today, we hope, at this virtual celebration that Ondra's family will attend, his wife Mirka and his sons Martin and Peter. We would particularly like to thank them for generously sharing Ondra's private photos that you will see in this event. And also thanks to all of you who have sent and shared photos of Ondra. Ondra was an extraordinary, world-renowned pathologist and scientist, particularly known for his work on renal tumors. This work is documented in hundreds of peer-reviewed articles that resulted in the recognition of many new renal entities and variants. And these kidney tumors are diagnosed around the world daily by many pathologists for the benefit of our patients. In Plzeň, Czech Republic, where he spent his entire professional career, and the city he called home, he created one of the largest kidney tumor registries in the world. Many of us gathered today visited this Ondra's Mecca and always came back enlightened, educated, and immeasurably richer in every sense. He opened his doors generously to anyone wishing to come to his Mecca, to his kidney Mecca, because he genuinely cared about people, science, and true friendship. He was an excellent teacher, educator, and mentor to his scientific refugees, as he jokingly called some of his visitors. Ondra was also a protector of nature, and he was a dedicated environmentalist. These were his main political convictions. His memory and his legacy will continue to live on in several projects, such as the Eden Foundation and his work in the Plzeň Zoo. I remember him telling me a story about a wounded snake he rescued from the wild. Then he allowed her to live in his basement and under his care for several months before releasing her back into the wilderness. Then Ondra gave me a book he wrote on snakes. In fact, he has published 5 books on reptiles and amphibians. He also had a sharp photographic eye, not surprising for a pathologist, and he was immensely proud of his photo safaris, but unfortunately, the one we planned for him next month in the Canadian Rockies will not happen. He was also an athlete. In his youth, he excelled as a 400-meter runner, becoming a national champion of Czechoslovakia at the time. 400 meters is considered an extended dash or extended sprint. And an extended dash or extended sprint may be a metaphor of his life. In fact, he was the fittest person I know. For example, I've never seen anyone like Ondra run to the 5th floor of his hospital with his bike on his shoulder, as he did once, and me witnessing, because he was simply too busy to wait for the elevator. He routinely commuted to work by running. and he had his last run on his commute to work. Ondrej was also a loving husband to Mirka and a wonderful father to Martin and Peter. It may be a consolation and a source of pride for them to witness how many people all around the world loved and cared for Ondrej and were affected by Ondrej's passing. I know that Ondrej truly cared about his families, his friends, and his colleagues. Ondrej made everybody smile and become passionately dedicated to the work, either professional or outside of his profession. And this is how he will be remembered by all who had an opportunity to be with him, even for a fleeting moment, because he made everybody feel respected and special. Ondrej was actually the glue that kept together a large community of people around the world with his goodness, friendship, and zest for life. His true life calling was giving. He generously gave his gifts away, his time, kindness, knowledge, wisdom, his love of life. We are all blessed to have been receiving this precious gift from him. He used frequently 3 dots in his mails. Now I understand that those 3 dots in his emails meant that there is no end, but a continuation of the story. Ondrej, the story of your memory and legacy is just beginning. You will be in our hearts and minds forever. For this virtual celebration of life of Ondrej, first we will have Dr. Ming Zhou, the president of GAPS, speak and announce several GAPS initiatives to preserve Ondrej's memory and legacy. Then we will remember Ondrej's life through photos and video, and this will be followed by some of Ondrej's close friends and colleagues listed here, sharing their memories of Ondrej. So Ming, take it away.
Thank you, Kirill. Can I have the first slide? Ondrej was a staunch supporter of GAPS. He truly believed in GAPS founding principles and missions. As the chair of the International Outreach Committee, he did tremendous amount of work to increase the visibility of GAPS in the international pathology space and developed collaborative educational conferences between GAPS and the local pathology societies. The best example being the Kidney Tumor Friends GU Conference held in Pilsen last year. Ondrej was also one of the principal authors of several GAPS position papers on renal neoplasia that were incorporated into the most recent WHO classification. To preserve the memory and honor the legacy of Ondrej, GAPS has created a page dedicated to him. The page includes photos, video clips, and messages of condolences. It will be hosted permanently on the GAPS website. GAPS will also award Ondrej the Lifetime Achievement Award posthumously. This award is the highest distinction GAPS bestowed upon its members for their significant contributions to and a broad impact on the field of urological pathology. GAPS will also establish Ondrej Hes Award. It will be given every year for the best paper presented at the United States and a Canadian Academy of Pathology annual meetings for the work in the kidney tumor pathology. We're seeking voluntary contribution to this fund to fund this award. If you want to make contributions or donation to this fund, please visit GAPS website and click donation to make a donation to this award. Ondrej, GAPS will miss you greatly. May you rest in peace.
trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh why can't well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking and singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you dare to, why, oh why can't
have a video play of the Ondrej wetlands or Ondrovi Mokřady. because he was a dedicated environmentalist and devoted his life to preserve and protect nature. Please advance. With his colleagues from Plzeň, Czech Republic, he established the Eden Foundation. And the goal of this Eden Foundation was to protect an area of wetlands that will be sustaining biodiversity and natural habitat. And this protected natural area will be called Ondrej's wetlands from now on to honor his memory. And this will be a place where Ondrej's memory and spirit will live forever. And in this following video, you can see the Ondrej's wetlands as well as Ondrej and his colleague Karel Makon speaking about the Eden Foundation. And it was instrumental in establishing this foundation, the contribution of Michal and the people from Bioptička Lab in Plzeň.
Partnerem nadačního fondu Eden je bioptická laboratoř, která zajišťuje veškerou administrativu, ekonomické věci, právní věci a právní servis, což není v současné době jednoduché. Druhým naším velkým partnerem je záchranná stanice volně žijících živočichů v Plzni, která je součástí toho nadačního fondu, protože bez jejich profesionálního vedení a samozřejmě profesionálního zázemí by ten nadační fond byl poloviční. Takže to jsou dva hlavní pilíře a samozřejmě nezřízená vůle a nadšení od všech dobrovolníků a pracovníků v úvozovkách nadačního fondu, protože my nemáme žádné odměny, všechno je založeno pouze na dobrovolnosti a dobrovolné práci.
And now we will have some of Ondrej's close friends and colleagues speak about Ondrej and share their memories. First, we will have Kristina Pivovarčíková from Plzeň, who worked with Ondrej for many years. Take it away, Kristina.
Yeah. So, hi, my name is Kristina Pivovarčíková, and I think I was Ondrej's closest collaborator here in Plzeň. I met him 11 years ago. I was a medicine student, and Ondrej was a teacher for pathology practicals in my group. Probably you should know what does it mean to be a teacher of pathology practicals. This means that this man, this awesome man, every week for one day stopped his work, left all his work on the table, and traveled through whole Plzeň to meet 11 students of the medicine, to deliver a speech and to take us to the autopsy room for the autopsy. The autopsy things Ondrej really hated. And this was absolutely awesome for us because he was very inspiring. He was enthusiastic, and after 1 year of pathology practicals with him, we all wanted to be a pathologist. In this time, I started to collaborate with Ondrej. 3 years later, he asked me, or he offered me an opportunity to get a job and the PhD study with him as a consultant. I took it, and I have to say that during this 11 years, Ondrej changed my life, changed my mind, and modified who I am. Can you ask me to share with you some funny story? I have about 1 million plus one funny stories with Ondrej. Every day we inform each other about many injustices, pleasures, and we make fun from each other. We shared together a specific time of the humor. We called it dark black humor or incorrect humor. And this humor has for me a little bit bitter taste right now. But I will share with you one my memory. the memory is about this T-shirt, this Christmas T-shirt. Every year we have a tradition in our lab. Every year we have a new Christmas T-shirt. And usually there is a picture of something very cute, nice, so puppies and ponies in the neighborhood of Christmas tree. And I think 2 years ago, our laboratory technician got a good idea. They asked Ondrej to paint something for us for the Christmas T-shirt. And probably you know it or not, but Ondrej was very good in speed drafting. And he made for us this one. It is not cute. There is a rat. The rat is drunk, sleeping with cigar and the bottle of wine. And our technicians are very upset because this is not cute. But it was from Ondrej, so we have to make it. So now we have this beautiful, not cute, but beautiful T-shirts, and we are very proud for it. So thank you, Ondrej. Thank you for all things with us.
Thank you, Christina. We will have now Reza Alagebandan join us and share his memories.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be within Ondrej Hes's extended family. I can see a lot of people here, all our colleagues and friends. It's both easy and it's not easy to celebrate a celebrated life. And but as a friend, as someone that I had a privilege to know Ondrej and spend many memories with him, one of the latest and the most recent gifts that he gave me, I would like to, with his permission, to share it with you. And that is the last email he sent me. That was a week before the incident. A part of that email, let me share with you on this screen here. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a trip Ondrej was making to Budapest. And I think he was in a railway getting the train going there. And he wrote me a long email. And this is the bottom of the correspondence. He says, on a personal note, on Monday, I bought a very compulsive act, my first glasses for reading. Horrible. By the way, Kirill, he put more than 3 dots. So in this email and so many others, he put more than 4 or 5 or 6. And then he says, with contact lenses on, I can read anything but text of poster size. Very strange. I have to visit ophthalmologists and have to check multifocal lenses options, good story. I was in DM, something like Walmart, and he goes on and saying that there were cheap glasses, mostly for ladies. And then he says, I had to take one from the shelf to see the label. I can imagine how he did it. And it says, it cost me 79 Czech crowns, great buy. And I think I will always like to keep these smiles of his. And this is the last correspondence, as I mentioned, back in 22nd of June of this year, he sent me. And I thought the best thing to share with the family, you are the family, is how celebrated a soul and individual he was. And I think I would like to always remember that. In the back of my, let me stop sharing here, my office, there is that calendar that you can see, and that's the 2022 calendar. Every year he sent me a calendar. And those calendars are made of the photos that he made throughout the trips and travels and etc. That 2022 is not going to come off next year or after and after. Because Ondrej is dynamic, he's global, he's always with us. Physically may not, but memory is always there. And as I said, celebrating a celebrated life is not easy, but I think the easiest way to do it is just to share what an amazing human being he was. Thank you.
Thank you, Reza. And we'll have now Joanna Rogala, his collaborator from Poland, join us. Please unmute yourself, Joanna.
Just give me a second. Okay. So hello, everybody. Big hello from Wrocław in Poland. My name is Joanna Rogala. I'm Ondrej's PhD student. And I would like to share with you how I met him. So in contrast to Reza, I would like to share with you my very first emails with him. So how it happened, we met. In 2015, I was already certified pathologist, and I noticed I received more and more GU cases every day on my desk. And I arrived to the point that I thought, okay, it would be good to go somewhere abroad and practice that with somebody. So I went for ESP website and for Giordano Fellowship, and then I found there is advanced training center in Czech Republic in Plzeň, and the person to contact with was Ondrej Hes. And actually, I haven't checked internet who is that man, and have chosen Plzeň because I have some kind of special sentiment for Czech Republic. I wrote him my first email introducing myself and asking basically if I may come for GU, and he responded fast and saying, no problem from my side, just come. Then he wrote me in following emails a little bit about his modus operandi, that he has some kind of registry of special interesting kidney tumors, and that is open for everybody who support the registry and for all collaborators. And I was thinking, okay, I have some kind of difficult cases, and in next mail I just asked him if I may bring them. And he said, okay, bring slides or blogs or just blogs. And maybe in the future, you will join Kidney Circus. So with growing curiosity, who is that man? I arrived. So good morning, Plzeň. That is the view from apartment. I was living top floor apartment. Then you can see the view from top floor located Department of Pathology. And here you can see our out department activities, an example where Ondra and Reza were having wine as a proper two gentlemen, and I as a proper barbarian having wine and beer in the same time. Ondra was always making fun out of me because of that, my special taste for a beer, but I couldn't help it. And what I want to say here is that Ondra created some kind of special environment for us youngsters who arrived there to study or to do some kind of research. I was really touched by his honesty, by his level of humanity, by his sense of humor, not mentioning knowledge, and the way he was selling that. And altogether, it made me coming back and bringing more and more blogs. And actually, in my department, I have some kind of routine that every kidney tumor is, while being resected, I mean, not resected, but biopsied, we take an extra block to store it just for Ondra, for his registry, and it's routine. And what I learned with him is for sure a little bit of kidney tumors, and another thing was never postponing things. He was always saying, if you have to do something, do it right now. And thank you, Ondra, for making me a little bit better pathologist and a better human being. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joanna, for sharing your memories of Ondra. Next, I'd like to invite Sean Williamson to share his memories of Ondrej Hes.
Hi, I'm Sean Williamson. I'm at the Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, USA. And so I'm showing one of the first major projects that Ondrej and I did together. We had collaborated a little bit through other people on a few things prior to this, but I guess in around 2015 or 2016, I had this idea to ask GU pathologists how they diagnose oncocytic renal tumors. And of course, he already being a huge name in the field of renal tumor pathology, was somebody that I had to invite to collaborate on this study. And he, of course, immediately, as we just heard, he immediately responded right away and provided great insight into this project. But I guess for me and him, that was kind of the beginning of our collaboration, or really the big kickoff, which started our collaboration more extensively and our friendship. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor to be a collaborator with him, and I hope that he would also consider me a friend. But after doing this project, I was absolutely blown away that he invited me to attend the Kidney Tumor Friends meeting in 2017 in the Czech Republic. And to this day, that really remains one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had, meeting this amazing group of people and sharing in the hospitality and friendship that Ondrej organized. That you've probably seen most of these pictures already in the slideshow, but this was a group of us. In addition to the scientific program, he organized a lot of opportunities for the people attending the conference to also see to explore his country and see some of the scenery. And so this was an opportunity that he took to show us a nature preserve. As I mentioned, that was really one of the greatest experiences I've had to go, kind of one of the major trips where I really broadened my horizons. And so it was a great opportunity to really join this network of friends that he's created. I hope that throughout the rest of my career, I can really continue this sort of his way of being, of the enthusiasm, the positive energy, and this international network of friends collaborating on research. This is actually here a picture of my wife. She was able to come with me to the Kidney Tumor Friends in 2017, and I always thought it was amazing that he treated her like also one of his closest friends, even though that was their first meeting. And from then on, we've heard about the emails. Anytime that I would email him, he would say, "Best regards to Alex." Alex is my wife. Even though she's not in pathology at all, she's actually an eye doctor, and she probably would have been keen to help him with those reading glasses that we heard about earlier. But every time that they would send messages back and forth to each other through me when we were talking about pathology stuff, she would tell him to say hello, and he would tell me to tell her hello. And so we would both look back fondly on visiting in the Czech Republic for the 2017 Kidney Tumor Friends as one of the greatest experiences that we've had together. And I hope that we can all continue this spirit of collaboration and friendship that he created. This is a picture of him and Kirill and myself. And I remember we were at the USCAP meeting this year, and Dr. Samson Fine, I believe, is the one who took this picture. And he said that this is the International Rare Renal Tumor Consortium. And for a while after that, I would think about that. I thought, well, we should make the International Rare Renal Consortium a real entity. But actually, I think Ondrej has already made that an entity throughout his work of linking together all these people from around the world. But in short, it was really wonderful to be a part of his collaborators and hopefully also his friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I'd like to invite next Maria Tretiakova join us and share her memories.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. You know, I've known Ondrej for about 16 years since we first met in one of the USCAP meetings. And, you know, by looking at all the photos that I have with him, he's always smiling, always with his big, contagious, like signature smile on every photo. However, the biggest, you know, smile that I could see that when he was outdoors, on the outside, you know, in the nature. So in 2016, there was a USCAP meeting here in Seattle, and we spent a couple of days together. And I asked Ondrej where he wants to go, what he wants to see in Seattle, and he said, "I don't care about Seattle that much. I wanted to go to see nature around Seattle." So, well, he asked me to drive him to botanical gardens. We went to Japanese garden, went to the Nisqually bird sanctuary, went to waterfalls. So everything could possibly show him, we went there. And after that, we briefly stopped at my house, and my backyard, and he looked at it, and probably in comparison to botanical gardens, it didn't meet his standards. So he told me, you know what, it looks nice. It's not horrible. And by the way, horrible was his favorite word, I think. He would say it in such a nice way anyway. So, and he looked at my backyard and said, you know what, we can make it better. We can improve it. And for the next couple of months, he was sending me emails reminding them that I need to, measure my backyard, send the distances, the lengths, the depths of the backyard, so he can send me sketches to improve it. So I measured the distance between shrubs and trees and all of that. So it was an exchange for a couple of months, like I said, and he ended up sending me multiple sketches, how to remake my backyard, redo it to make it better. So, and in fact, I used this, his sketches, I used his suggestions, and, this is the photo from this morning. I just edited. So after, some improvements with Ondrej's, push, we have visitors essentially every single day to the backyard. So, and I think that what is important about Ondrej is that he always wanted to make this world better. So to live it better than he found it. And that was his, his life philosophy. So he made it better professionally, spiritually, emotionally, environmentally, all aspects of it. And I think that's his legacy that we should really carry on. He wanted us to make this world, to improve this world and make it better. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Now we will have Dr. Ivan Damjanov speak and share his memories. Ivan, can you please unmute your microphone?
I will try.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I entitled my presentation, Ondrej Hes, Memories of an Adopted Grandfather. Grandfather, that's me. And I wanted to say that this presentation, could I get back to the first one? Oh, okay. I wanted to say that, originally I'm actually from Europe, and what you are hearing is not a Midwestern Kansas accent, but a Middle European accent, because I am from Zagreb, and Ondra was a regular visitor to Zagreb, and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures to confirm that. But let me start with this adopted grandfather. Next. I met Ondra in 2003 when I came for the first time to Pilsen. We bonded over this book, which is called The Good Soldier Schweik. For those of you who do not know, Schweik was an anti-war, anti-establishment, anti-religion, and that's what Ondra and I share. We are very anti many things in life, especially religion. We are both atheists, and he told me that in the Czech Republic, only 4% people believe in God. And I said, okay, that's very good. The most important quote from Schweik's mouth was, "Don't let the bastards get you down." Ondra and I somehow agreed immediately. That's the most important message that you get reading the stories about Schweik. And then Ondra informed me, since you like Schweik, I will adopt you as my grandfather. I don't know whether anybody would adopt anybody for grandfather. It's absurd, but nice, isn't it? And we had many joyous moments together, two Schweiks walking next to each other. Next. Here is one of my favorite pictures with him in 2016, the meeting in Bratislava. We were presiding this meeting session, and it brings to mind one of his very important dictums. He said, "Be curious, but don't be judgmental." Later on, looking at Netflix, I found that the same statement was the motto of Ted Lasso, who is a multiple award-winning actor on this show called Ted Lasso. Next, I think that the next statement that he liked to use was be inclusive. And he says as broadly as possible. And I'll give you one or two examples. First, he told me pathology is just one of the biomedical sciences. There are many others as well. Why not herpetology? He wrote 6 books about snakes and lizards and all this, and gave me this one written in German about boa constrictor. It's a really, really well-written book, incredible knowledge, a incredible sense of what is important, what's not important. Next. I'll give you another example of this dictum, be inclusive, not exclusive. That's the multi-authored papers. As a young scientist, Ondrej donated a lot of material to a researcher in Germany, and this researcher wrote the paper and didn't mention Ondrej. He was so mad, and he promised to himself that from now on, whoever sends him a case and he writes a paper that includes that case, he's going to put him as a co-author. So he ended up with numerous papers that are multi-authored papers. And I'm going to show you one that has 24 authors. I usually divide the papers according to the various athletic and rowing disciplines, 2-seater, 4-seater, 8-seater, 24-seater, that would be somewhere in the range of American football. In this paper, whoever contributed, even if it was one single case, I'm somewhere in the middle. Probably the guys that are on the top line next to Ondrej contributed more cases than I, but my name was there as well. Next. The second saying that he used to repeat is build bridges, not walls. The country that I come from, Yugoslavia, was unfortunately cut into many small pieces. And this is one of the bridges that made us famous because it was mentioned in the Nobel Prize winning novel of Ivo Andrić, and it is on the river Drina that is connecting Bosnia and Serbia. I have to say that Ondrej was a frequent visitor to Bosnia, and actually we are going to donate a link that has his, here is one more back. Okay, so this is that famous bridge from 16th century, and it is still in function. The point was, if you make a bridge, it will survive you, and the links that you make through this bridge will be almost permanent. Next. I want to say that Ondrej was supposed to take vacation not far from this bridge. The whole Croatia is very proud of this bridge, which is connecting the southern part of Croatia in the city of Dubrovnik with the rest of the country. And it's simply called Pelješac Bridge. It's a really beautiful, and he was already scheduled to spend his vacation this year there, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Next. For those who know a little bit of geography, I should say that this is the map of former Yugoslavia and it fell apart. And I would like to mention here that Yugoslavia means Southern Slavs, and Ondra was a great friend of Southern Slavs. He visited many times Croatia, visited Bosnia and Herzegovina. He was in Serbia, and he was a real friend of the Southern Slavs. Next. This is a dinner with a group of Southern Slavs. I'm here on the right-hand side, sitting between a woman from Bosnia and a man from Bosnia who is now in Qatar. On the other side, there is the man who doesn't have too much hair. This was the last Bosnian who got his PhD under the tutorship of Bosnia, of Ondra. Next. Ondra loved birds, and here is one. Ondra, we will miss you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivan. And thank you all for sharing these wonderful memories of Ondra. And these are very strong and powerful messages that we will keep reminding ourselves of. Smile, build bridges. And here we are building bridges even after Ondra is gone. I'd like to thank everybody, and I'd like to especially thank Ondra's family, Mirka and his sons, Marek and Martin. I said previously, Peter, it's Martin, so my apologies. And in the sense of inclusivity, we have asked a few people to speak who wanted to speak, and we've invited few, but I'd like to invite anyone now. If you'd like to share something or say something, please, this is your moment of inclusivity and being part of this international bridge connection of Ondra's friend. If you want to speak, please unmute your mic and introduce yourself.
Well, I will say a few words.
Thank you, Raj. Go ahead.
So thank you for this opportunity to say a few words about dear friend Ondra. I knew Ondra for many years, but I came to know him more closely only very recently during the last Kidney Tumor Friends meeting, which was held in Pilsen. But in even such a short time, he left a very profound impact on me and my wife. I think my wife was also very saddened when she heard about this, his passing away. His big-hearted smile and caring approach were so palpable to us that I cannot remember, as I think Maria and a lot of other you shared, like his smile was so contagious and I think so infectious. He has left us prematurely, but I think an important message that I think we all should feel solace and immense pride that one could achieve so many remarkable things in such a short lifetime, and that's really life well lived. And I think that's one of the biggest message that we really want to remember for Ondra. According to my Hindu religion, even though Ondra has left his temporary physical body, his soul or spirit will remain immortal and continue to live on. So today, as we celebrate Ondra's remarkable life and work, let us do everything possible to keep his legacy lives on forever. Thank you. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Raj.
Mehul here. I just wanted to make a few comments. I really appreciate.
Welcome, Mehul.
Thank you. Really appreciate the heartfelt comments and the preparations to just really bring and celebrate Ondra's life. Over 30 years and in the last 15 years that I've known Ondra, I've had the opportunity, like all of us, to work with some of the brightest that has all made us better. And Ondra certainly done this in the field for us, and we've all trained residents and fellows. But if I really think and there is probably no individual beyond academic and scholarship activities that has really brought people together with just no purpose except bringing people together. It is not because of an academic agenda. It is not because they want to promote themselves. It is just, this is an individual who just truly cared about everything and anything. And while we will all remember him for all his kidney tumor activities, I would really want us to remember that there has been not another pathologist that I can think of that has been a superior human being, a quintessential person who cared for everything. Same stories about, how he cared for family, how he cared. I would write to him about, writing letters for someone that wanted a visa, and he would just say anything. This is in all these fantastic messages, if we can remember that, of course, the world is much poorer without Ondra, but if we can take a little of all his great skills and continue that legacy, that would be that of kindness, of generosity, of really caring for one another and living life to the fullest. So thank you all for arranging this, and we will miss Ondra forever.
Thank you, Mahul. Indeed, the legacy of Ondrej will work probably best if we all remind us of how Ondrej would have treated everybody and behaved in any situation. And I'm trying, since his passing, to just think about it. And I think it truly is a testament to a unique human being he was and how much we'll miss him around the world. Is there anybody else who would like to speak? I will give this last opportunity. Hikmat, please.
Yes, hi. Hi, everyone. This is Hikmat Ahmadi. I'm a pathologist at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Great attribute, and thanks for the opportunity of organizing this. My perspective is different. I have not directly worked with him, and unfortunately, I would say now, and our group also, there hasn't been much work, together. But there's one thing that was for sure: every time his name came up, and we had a lot of discussions, there's always this level of respect to his person, to his ideas, to what he's done. So that was always something that whenever you say Ondrej's name and ideas and thus there's always that level of like appreciation and high values of what he was all about. So that is something just I wanted to say from kind of not having experience working with him, which now it's really unfortunate. But that's all. May he rest in peace, and thank you all.
Thank you, Hikmat. I don't see anybody else.
Hi.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hi, my name is Monica. Yes, hi. I'm pathologist from Zagreb, and I just want to say thank you all for doing this for Ondra. And just at the end, I would like to say thanks to Ondra for giving us all the opportunity to be part of this family, because he gave us so much more than just knowledge and his participation. Gave us, tremendous energy and really the opportunity to be so much more than we are. So thank you. And thank you, Ondra.
I see no one.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Boye.
Hey,
welcome.
Thanks so much for organizing this. I have just a few words. As you know, I haven't known Ondrej that long. I haven't worked with him personally, but he was just such a wonderful person. We met several years ago, not just in passing at one of the USCAP meetings. And in 2014, we co-chaired the IAP meeting in Bangkok, which Kirill, I know you were involved in, Ming. And that's when we got to work with one another as co-moderators. And he was just such a wonderful person. And ever since then, we've been emailing back and forth, and he's been asking me to come over for this Kidney Tumor Friends meeting. And for some reason, I was never able to make it until last year. And thank God I was able to make that meeting, because if I did not make that meeting, I would never forgive myself. he was such a wonderful person, such a warm person, such a loving person, not just brilliant, but just absolutely wonderful guy. And obviously had a great sense of humor, which is something I always remember. And my wife, when I told my wife about his passing, since she also came to Pilsen with me, I mean, we were both, she was just shocked because this was a guy full of energy, very passionate about so many things, and just such a wonderful person. So I just want to express my condolences to his family. I'm not sure if they're on this call, his wife and his two sons, and just to all of us. His loss is a huge loss to the entire, not just GE pathology committee, but the entire pathology committee. And on behalf of the USCAP, I'd just like to express my condolences to, to all of us and to his family. Kirill, thanks again for organizing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I see no other hands or anybody wishing to speak. Isabel?
Yes, hi everyone. I just wanted to say that as everyone, I'm shocked about this news, but at the same time, I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to meet Ondrej. Actually, I went to the first meeting of the Kidney Tumor Friends, which was in Pilsen. And I remember all those wonderful years that we shared with Ondrej. Ondrej came many times to Mexico, to my hospital, to look at a large amount of kidney tumors, and he helped us a lot. And he was a great man in the way that he loved everyone, every culture, as well as nature. So he came here in Mexico, and even he made a big collection about reptiles, and a wonderful man. And for us, for Mexican people, Delia also from Instituto Nacional de Cancerología, we were very close friends, and we were trying to still connect with Pilsen people. We very love to Ondrej Hes. Thank you very much, Kirill, for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Isabel, and thank you everybody for joining in.
Maurice raised his hand.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Please unmute.
Hello, my name is Maurice Berga. I am pathologist and work in this time in Riga. I met Ondrej first time approximately 12 years ago. After this, I invited him in Riga, and what was amazing, that during 2 days, he went through 2,000 kidney tumors in my laboratory. And what's learned, it is, if you have any idea, you must realize it immediately. Of course, amazing is also love to nature. Yeah, I will remember it all my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Maris.
Leila.
Thank you. So hi, everyone. I'm Leila. I'm one of his refugees, like you said, Kirill. And what I would like to say is that Ondrej didn't even know me when I got to Pilsen first time. And he just welcomed me like I was, I don't know, one of his old, friends. And what I'd like to add is that he never said no to anybody. I mean, if you wrote him and asked him for anything, he would not only respond immediately, but he never said no. So this is something that I wanted to add to everything that everyone said. He was that kind of a person. So thank you.
Thank you. Wayne? Unmute, please. Yes.
Thank you very much, Kirill. Thank you for arranging this wonderful opportunity to remember a really great man and a true friend. I just wanted to share a photograph with you, if I may. This man helped me appreciate my country. One takes it for granted. One lives with nature on one's doorstep. But I have yet to encounter a man who loved nature and loved creatures, all creatures, great and small, more than this man. And He's helped me appreciate nature, life, friendship, and the wonderful mixing of business and pleasure. I've yet to encounter another human being who could do it with such finesse. And I was really, truly honored to have him as my friend. And I think we should just hold Mirka and Martin and Marek in our prayers. And I was saying to Martin, Marek, they have a wonderful opportunity to continue Ondrej's legacy by pursuing his dreams of the wetlands, and I look forward to visiting those wetlands one day. And yeah, rest in peace, my friend. Thank you, Kirill.
Thank you, Wayne. Wayne is joining us from South Africa, for those who don't know. Okay, Jiming, please go ahead, Jiming. Unmute yourself. We can't hear you, Jiming. Can you please unmute yourself? It seems that you are unmuted, but we can't hear you. Can you please speak? Yeah, for some reason the sound is not coming through, although it shows as if you're unmuted. So I know how much you appreciated Ondrej and how fondly you spoke. And in one of your messages, you were emphasizing the fact that the demise of Ondrej has basically hit and hurt the pathology community in recent years like no other, because of such a unique person that Ondrej was. And I think that those were sort of your words. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to paraphrase what you said, and all the messages that you've sent and shared, many of you are already posted on the GAPS website. And as we've mentioned, we will keep it there for the purpose of honoring Ondrej in perpetuity and keeping his memory and legacy. And once again, I would like to thank you all for joining us in together virtually. Now we are one big family, the family of Ondrej's friends, and I'm sure that his memory and his legacy will, and his messages will resonate and will live with us forever. Thank you again for all for attending this event.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirill. Thank you, Rashid.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.